Hi, my name is Hanna Olarewaju. I'm in my third year and I'm studying chemical engineering at Swansea University. I'm going to briefly talk to you about what I learned in first year and the modules I did in first year. So let's just get straight into it. The first module I did in first year was chemical engineering process principles. So this module is mainly based on mass and energy balances. So don't be worried if you haven't done anything like that in A levels, because the lecturer are gonna bring you up to speed in first year. And the mass balance is just knowing what goes into a process and what comes out of a process, and you're gonna use chemical reaction stoichiometry, which is something you should be familiar with in A levels. The energy balance is just helping you understand more about the X's law and the Van 't Hoff's box. So it's not something you cannot do, because it's something you're actually capable of doing. Even though you don't know that you can do it, you can do it. I'm telling you, based on experience. So yeah, you can do it. The second module I'm going to talk about is the process analysis and design. So this module is based on this module is a foundation for your third year design project, because in this module you will be given a mini design project to do where you work in a group of 4, and you'll be able to produce mass and energy balances. You use Visio to produce process flow diagrams for the process that the lecturer sets for you to do, and which should actually help you when you get to your third year, because I'm in my third year at the moment and I'm doing my design project, and I've been using Visio to produce a process flow diagram, a piping and instrumentation diagrams. Yeah, don't worry about that. You will learn how to use that when you come to Swansea University. The process analysis and design also helps you to be able to work well in a group, to see how people do work, to see how you can manage other people, and see if you can work really well as a team, because that is what employers are looking for when you get to the industry. They want to see if you have the people skills, if you have interpersonal skills to work really good with people. And yeah, the process analysis and design would help you do that. Another module I learned about is heat transfer, which is actually one of my favorite modules when I was in first year, because you will learn how to use different heat exchangers, which is like the shell and tube heat exchangers, the plate and frame heat exchanger. You also learn how water boils. You will know the different stages of water boiling from 0 degrees or 20 degrees Celsius to 100 degrees Celsius. You also learn the different types of heat transfer, the conduction, convection, radiation, which is actually pretty good to know how heat transfers from one body to another. You also learn how to calculate the thickness of an insulation wall. Another module I'm going to talk about is the Introductory Organic Chemistry. The Introductory Organic Chemistry is just advanced version of organic chemistry you've done in A levels. But don't worry if you struggle with organic chemistry, because the lecturers are there to help you bring yourself up to the same level as other students. The chemical engineering science is another module I'm going to talk about. The chemical engineering science is a pure chemistry module, because you learn the different ideal gas behaviors, the Boyle's law, Charles' law, Avogadro's law, Dalton's law. You also learn the Carnot cycle, which is a very interesting thing to learn about, because the Carnot cycle is just a cycle of how the back of a refrigerator works, which is quite something you want to know because you can just go to the back of the refrigerator and be like, oh yeah, I actually know how this works, this and this goes to this and this, which is quite good and knowledgeable. When you're talking to people about it, they'll be like, yeah, you're actually doing chemical engineering. The engineering analysis module is a pure maths module, but don't be scared if you struggle with maths, because we've got Maths Cafe that runs Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursdays, and lecturers and PhD students are there to help you with your assignment, with any question you've got relating to maths. So the engineering analysis module is a maths module where the lecturer makes sure everyone's level of maths are the same, because when you get to second year, you're gonna have to do more advanced maths modules. The fluid mechanics module is another module that I learned in first year. So it's mainly based on physics, but don't be scared if you've struggle with physics or you've not done physics in A levels, because this module is based on the flow of water through pipes, the flow of water through jets. You're going to use mercury manometers to see how water flows in a manometer. You would also see how water flows through a restriction by using venturi meters or phase meters. So yeah, it's something you really want to learn, and don't be scared about anything, because chemical engineering is actually a really interesting it's a really interesting degree, because you get to do a variety of things. You get to do some theory, and you get to apply those theory in a laboratory session, and you also get to use different software packages such as AutoCAD, Unisim, Aspen, which is packages that you would see in an industrial setting. So don't be afraid about it, you will be fine. Environmental awareness for engineers. So this module just wants you to know more about how the chemical industry affects the environment, the ways pollutions can occur, the different environmental disasters that are caused from different chemical industries, like an oil spillage in the Gulf of Mexico. And yeah, so this environmental part is just your basic knowledge on what will go wrong or what can go wrong, and also you learn stuff about the earth and how the earth works and the biophysical part of the earth as a system. The last module I'm going to talk about is the instrumental and analytical chemistry. This module is a mix of practical session and theory session. So you learn a bit about the theory, and then you go into the lab to work on different experiments, such as the titration experiment. This titration experiment is an advanced version of the one you would have done in A levels or GCSEs. And you also learn how to use a calorimetry. You also learn how to use you also learn spectroscopy, the different types of spectroscopy. The lab session is a group session where you work in a group and you do experiments, but then again you go to your different homes and you write laboratory reports on it, which should be fine because it's not as intense as the laboratory reports you would write in second year. So then again, this is like a foundation for you to be able to write good laboratory reports in second year, because this chemical engineering degree is an accredited degree by the Institution of Chemical Engineers. So they want students to be able to know what they're doing. They want students to be able to, like, when they get into the industry, they can actually work with people and they can work on the different processes in the industry as well. In a week, I would say the amount of time you spend with the lecturers is like 20 to 30 hours, but then again you have a mix of laboratory sessions and normal lectures, and lecturers are actually really good because they've got office hours. So if you're too shy to ask them any question during the lecture sessions, you can go up to them during the office hours, and they will happily help you understand more about the particular topic or about the module in general. For the independent learning aspect of the degree, I would recommend you studying for 2 to 3 hours a day if you want to be on top of your work.